ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My voice already sounds a bit worse than I thought it would. Fantastic. And this fine summery-ish day, still technically spring, we're about to show you a demonstration of justice in the 12th century. It was a time of law and order. It was a slightly chaotic time, which made law and order all the more important. What we have here is an ecclesiastical court. It's the court of justice run by members of the church. In this case, the Archbishop of Canterbury. He is a supreme moral authority, as well as, in many cases, a legal one. The church was all pervasive. It was in every aspect of people's daily lives. There was no query of faith. There's no agnosticism, atheism, different churches. There was the church. All men, women, children, dogs, probably, were good Christians. There's no doubt. So the church held a very important position in day-to-day life. Every village, every settlement would at least have its own parish preacher of some kind. And certainly, the role of Archbishop of Canterbury, one of the highest positions in the entire kingdom. Anyway, without further ado, give you the ecclesiastical court.
On this, the 5th Monday after Holy Easter, in the 19th year of the reign of King Henry, this court is convened under the sight of God and the auspices of the Archbishop of Canterbury, His Grace Philip Fitz-Edward. Providing legal counsel, Lord Richard de Mortimer shall serve as a defender of justice. Brother Alwyn of Salford shall serve as notary to the court to ensure all bindings and sentences are duly recorded. We are also blessed with the presence of Lady Isabel and Lady Marie, patrons of the Abbey of the Blessed Lady. Ladies, may justice be done?
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti.
Amen.
Archdeacon, what is the first case?
The first case is somewhat bizarre, Your Grace. A free man has made an accusation against an abbot, claiming that he has stolen land from him. Both men are in court today, Your Grace.
Bring in the free man. What has happened?
Well, Your Grace, I've lived on my flat of land not far here from Whittington for my entire life. But recently, the Cistercian monks have started to trespass on my land and have started to ruin my crops and my harvest.
Do you have any evidence that it is your land?
Evidence, Your Grace. This is where I was born. This is where my father and his father before him was born.
Yes, but can you prove these made generations?
Well, this is where my house stands, my lord. My father built it.
Bring the abbot.
Your Graces, this illiterate man has no idea how land clearly works. Here, I have a charter from my abbey from the time of the Henry the Old King, proving that that land belongs to my abbey.
The ink seems a little damp.
It was a slightly wet journey, Your Grace.
Well, do you have any written evidence to counter this claim?
Well,
How can he? The man can't even read.
I'm a humble man.
Hold this court! Your Grace, I beg leave to intervene. My name is Sir Robert de Lacy. I have the honour to be the legal advocate of the Earl of Chester. This man's feudal overlord.
Very good. Very good.
Sir Richard, could I please chance to examine this alleged charter? Yes, it is as I thought, Your Grace. This charter!
Advocate, You're not preaching to some great jury, you are convincing me of evidence.
Of course, Your Grace, of course. This charter is a forgery. Forgery. It's fraudulent. It is a fake. Not worth
Can
the
you
part-
prove, rather than elaborating unnecessarily?
Indeed, I can, of course, Your Grace. My
Then
proof
please do.
comes in three parts. First of all, you will see here that this charter is witnessed by Philip, High Sheriff of London.
I do see that, yes.
May it concern Your Grace then that Philip of London was dead at the time this charter claims to have been issued. The second part of my proof, Your Grace,
Yes.
lies in the fact that an educated man such as Philip, High Sheriff of London, I am certain would have been able to spell his own name correctly.
I suspect so.
The third part of my proof comes from some documents of my own.
Good. Present these documents to the court.
Boy! Boy, here now! Boy! Pick those, ask you!
Please stop making a mockery of my court.
Your Grace, I here produce a map of the area of the lands.
Yes.
You will see quite clearly there are no lands of the Abbey marked to the east of the river.
I do see that.
Your Grace, I humbly submit that the Father Abbot here is at most charitably in error, at most grievously, I will not dare to say what.
Abbot Dominic,
Your Grace,
you've clearly been found faking charters. For this, you must serve a personal penance and a pilgrimage to Canterbury to pray for forgiveness. On part of your abbey and the damage you have done to the lands, I will fine you 6 months of the rent so that he can repair his lands.
Your Grace, may I also submit a claim for legal expenses?
Yes, and for the legal expenses of the Earl, a further 6 months of rent to be paid to
Very
the
wise.
Lacey here. Yeah, I thought you'd feel that, yes. Kindly leave my court.
Boy! Where's the boy? Burn this!
Possession and transfer of land was the bread and butter of a medieval legal system. Land was money, it was life. However, the intricate records needed to see who held what land had to be produced and maintained by people who could read and write. By and large, this was the exclusive purview of the church. Their monks, their clerks were all churchmen. They could do the reading and writing. And, by happy coincidence, more often than not, charters could be found, dated back decades, that proved this abbey happened to hold that field they've been looking out for. As the record keepers, there were some who tried to take advantage of the system. However, there are, just so Lacey, some secular lawyers who some may find a bit slimy, a bit money grabbing, but they are still essential to keep the system ticking over. Or so at least they tell us, as they charge us.
Archdeacon, what is the next case?
The next case, Your Grace, concerns an accusation of the most heinous crime of simony made against a prioress.
Bring her in! Well, this looks guilty. Neil, what have you done?
I've been accused of simony, Your Grace.
In what form?
selling of blessed artifacts, Your Grace.
To
Pilgrims, Your Grace.
why have you been selling these artifacts?
My priory, poverty does not explain it. We are on the verge of starvation. We had artifacts that were blessed, and the pilgrims seemed willing to pay for them. I didn't understand it was wrong. I didn't see the harm.
You didn't see the harm. The harm is threefold. First, you've harmed the pilgrims by taking their money for blessed artifacts. Second, you've harmed the church by corruption. And simony is a rot that eats at the heart of the church, a rot that will be stamped out. Finally, you have sinned against yourself by breaking your vow of poverty. Where is your priory based?
Ely, Your Grace.
In Ely. I know the Bishop of Ely. He would not starve his priories under any reasons.
As you
All
say, Your Grace.
of the money you've taken in this simony will be given to the Bishop of Ely to use as he wishes. Finally, for yourself, because of your over-reliance and concern with worldly goods, you shall have the sin removed by the mortification of your flesh. You shall be scourged not more than 39 times. Archdeacon, ensure it is done.
I'll see to it personally, Your Grace.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Simony. The selling of artifacts, offices, church lands, properties, anything held by the church for personal gain was one of the most serious crimes that could be committed by any member of the church. It was, however, very widespread. And as such, men such as the Archbishop must come down hard on those guilty of it. It must be discouraged at all costs. The seemingly arbitrary number 39 is actually part of the widely held belief at the time that 40 lashes or more could be fatal.
Your Grace, the penitent has fallen unconscious.
Wait for her to awaken and then begin the punishment again so she feels the full taste of it.
Station men, Your Grace.
And so, for issuing less than 40 lashes, His Grace is being lenient. Let's hope there's nothing more severe tonight. Tonight?
Archdeacon, what is the next case?
I'm afraid the next case is much more severe, Your Grace.
How could it be more severe than simony?
A member of the church, a local parish priest, has been accused by a member of his number of having broken the holy seal of confession.
Do we have this priest? Do we have the accuser?
The accuser is here, Your Grace. She is quite distraught.
What seems to have happened?
I have murdered myself. My life is over. It's ruined. I am shunned by everyone. I can't go out. I must leave.
It's that I cannot believe one of my priests would break the seal of confession. One of the most sacred bonds that is held. Is there any other way? Anyone else could have told? Any other way this village could have found out?
The secret, Your Grace, was my life. I don't know what I only unburdened myself to this holy man for the sake of my soul.
Take your place. Come to the other side of the court. Bring in the priest.
Lord Archbishop.
Silence!
I am your most humble
Father,
servant.
what do you say of this accusation?
It is ludicrous, Your Grace.
Not broken the seal of confession.
I have not, with God as my witness.
You call him as God, you call yourself a holy.
You clearly must have told somebody else in your immediate family. I am an ordained priest. I would never break the most holy of the sacraments.
Well then. See, it's difficult to prove this, but you do hold your innocence before God, in which case an opportunity presents itself. Bring forth the relic of St. Wilfrid! Father, if you can lay your hand upon this relic and swear before God that you are innocent of breaking the seal of confession, then I will hold that you tell the truth and that you are falsely accused. All that you need do is lay your hand upon it and swear loyally before God that you are innocent.
That's all?
That is all, Father.
Well then.
Yes.
I confess!
A confession!
Lord!
This is not a simple thing! You are playing with immortal souls! Would you make it impossible for your flock to come to you for absolution?
I'm sorry.
You would consign other souls! There is but one punishment you are worthy of! You should be excommunicated!
My Lord! My Lord!
Your Grace!
Brought away!
Your Grace! Listen to me! I understand the severity of this, but I beg of you, consider the situation. Perhaps some leniency may be wise. Some compassion.
You're right, my lord. God has taught me to be merciful, so I will be merciful to you. First, you are stripped of all rights and dignities of priesthood. All incomes you have earned are given to this woman to repair the harm you have caused her.
There. Start.
Finally, I hold that you are out of communion with the Church and all of her sacraments until you complete a barefoot pilgrimage from this very site to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem.
My Lord, that is as good.
If you return to me with an artifact blessed there, then I will give you personal absolution. If you or I die before you return, then may your soul burn in hell. Leave! Take his shoes.
Clearly, breaking the seal of confession is a very severe breach of trust. In order to maintain its position as the moral authority, the Church must prove it is reliable and trustworthy. The relic brought forth was likely the bone of a saint or some other physical artifact connected to the apostles, to the life of Christ, to God in some way. The physical connection to God. And if an individual could swear upon a relic, swear upon essentially a piece of God to an extent, then they may well be innocent. The fear that they would be struck down for lying upon God was so severe that even though this man risked excommunication, he could not lie to God. Punishment himself may even be less kind than straight-up excommunication. Anyway, let's hopefully wind down this course and calm down, Your Grace.
Schedule all of the cases for later court.
Your Grace, there is another case, though.
But it can wait for a later court.
I'm afraid it cannot, Your Grace.
Why?
A knight, Your Grace, was riding and he ran down a monk of the Cistercian order. The brother has died of his wounds, Your Grace.
Do we have any witnesses?
We have a novice that was travelling with the monk, Your Grace.
Bring in the knight first.
Get your hands off me!
Name yourself and your lord for the court.
I am Sir Henri Lenoir of the Fitz Edward House.
My brother's guard. Bring the novice. What did you see, novice?
I and Brother John were walking on the road when suddenly a horse came and ran him down, and he was the rider. He gave no mercy to the man. Battered him on like that.
Your Grace, he quite clearly jumped in front of my horse.
Monks don't jump on the horse.
This one did! I swear it!
So you claim this house?
He jumped!
You swear this monk jumped on your horse?
I
You're
do.
innocent of killing him.
Well,
Did you kill a monk?
the horse killed the monk!
Answer is, did you kill a monk?
Make way!
My lord, I cannot allow you to interrupt this court. I have stepped over 200 bodies since I came of age. One more would not bother me at all. Do you want to let go of that axe?
Sword down.
Good dog.
Brother! I thought you were in South Wales.
So did the North Wales, but I did what a good Christian should in Wales. I came, I burned, I left. And now I find myself here. I hear my knight has been making something of a nuisance of himself.
Something of a nuisance. He's ridden down and either killed or perhaps murdered one of my monks.
It is to be expected, brother. He is one of my knights and therefore a paid killer.
Yeah, but you don't pay him to kill monks.
You're right, I do not. Don't kill monks! I will deal with the matter
That
myself.
is not the king's justice.
That's not even my justice. But this man is mine, and you will surrender him to my custody.
This man has killed one of mine and must face the king's justice.
Brother, who enforces the king's justice?
His constables, brother,
Who is one of the most foremost constables of the realm?
as we all well know, you are, brother.
Therefore, I will deal with this man.
This man must be dealt with through the true legal process, not your internal cares of your men, who too often cause anarchy.
Brother, you're very fond of your own voice. Doubtless God is too, but I am not, and you are trying my patience. The king kills troublesome archbishops. I am very tempted to follow in his shoes. However, for the father we shared and the sake of your mother, who we did not, but I'm very fond of, I won't kill you. Give him here, and we will leave peacefully. Otherwise, the other trained killers I have brought with me may have something to say.
This man must answer for his crimes before God.
Before God,
Yes, brother.
I spent 2 years in Jerusalem being shot at by Saracens on behalf of God. Surely he owes me one favour by now.
But not a knight who has run down one of his own, a man who dedicates his life to praying for those of us who don't have time.
He was a monk, he's a chanting fool. How much was he worth?
He's a monk, he prays for others. His worth cannot be measured in money.
How much in cows then?
Or cows, or fields, or lands, or castles. He's a monk. He's a soul. He's a man ridden down when innocent.
Who says my knight is not innocent?
Aye, God may judge that.
All right,
That's
you
why
want
he
God
must
to
face
judge? My knight's a trained killer.
He is.
Do you believe in trial by combat, brother?
I do. God can work through men.
Indeed. You can find yourself a champion for your poor dead monk.
As all knights are good Christians.
All knights are not good Christians, brother, otherwise they would not be good knights. However, you can find yourself a champion to stand for your cause. We shall have a trial by combat. The matter will be settled, and I will have my knight returned to me, proven innocent.
Or not returned to you, proven guilty.
Well, the sun has risen on stranger days, brother, but somehow I doubt it. Trial by combat, you're agreed?
I agree.
Fantastic. Unfortunately, I left most of my baggage in Wales in some cases in Welshman. Is this your tent?
It is, brother.
Fantastic. It looks very comfortable. I'm sure you understand as the younger brother, that's as well as mine. I'm sure someone in the encampment there will be happy to put up one of God's chief lieutenants. You, in. I'll speak to you later. Brother, off you go.
You may have the key.
Make way for his Christ!
The course of justice not necessarily always runs smooth. In an age where the most powerful, aggressive and wealthy men did as they pleased and enforced their own law, competing personalities, especially from the same seed, from the same family, caused a bit of friction. The proposal to solve this is a trial by ordeal, specifically a trial by combat. The idea is that God will impute strength upon the innocent party and strike down the guilty. Mortal men shall act as his agents. The truth shall be decided. Hopefully. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the Ecclesiastical Court. And thank you. For the rest of this day, please feel free. Wander the encampments. And should any of you take an interest in learning medieval archery, down in the field below the walls, we'll all have a go. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Out we go.
You ever call me aggressive or violent again?
Off to your master.
Right, Mr. Lacey. You okay?
If you ever call me aggressive again.
Monks.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Historia Normannis, Bishop's Court.